Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to one of the trials I have not yet done on the JP server, which is the Catastrophe trial. We're going to be going to hard mode. I haven't beaten it at all yet. We're going to be trying to do 2 out of 3 missions. We're going to be doing the 15 turn clear and the no items. We are going to be using a 6-man party though, so we're going to fail one of the missions, but kind of need to do that to get the 15 turn clear, and then you can always go back later and do the 5-man mission. So here's the party we're going to use. Thankfully, I off-bannered Ash a little bit ago, which allows me to hopefully get this in 15 turns. So I'll explain things as we go. So Ash is going to do Shelga +3 for the mitigation. We're going to magic cover, and we're going to magic break the boss. We're going to have Nicole summon his enhanced Leviathan field. That's now a 50% imperil. Hawkeye is going to do his break on the boss, his upgraded break. The Tituses are going to do their LB mod boost in the shift form. And turn 1, we can just guard Galoof. Now, Galoof is passive provoking with death immunity, charm immunity, status immunity. He's also got 10,000 or more HP. Okay, let's see here. So, to the base form with the Tituses, we were going to LB, but not quite yet. Let's go ahead and have Nicole shift and do his shifted LB for the LB buff, water amplify, etc. We're going to have Galoof go ahead and entrust over to Nicole to refill his LB. We're going to have Ash shift and use the main reason she's here, which is a 250% fairy killer on the friend who is geared better than mine. Before that, we're going to go to the base form with Hawkeye and do his base form LB for the mod boost. This is not going to proper change. We're going to wait. Now we're going to go ahead and use our Tituses to chain it up. Now we don't have the good imperil up yet because we didn't do Flood +3, which is the other source of good imperil. The damage isn't great yet. It's not going to be great like at all the whole fight anyway. But, you know, there it is. So there's some AoE fixed damage. With Ash's mitigations, we only take 4,000, which is relatively fine. Most of the team has regeneration and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this turn, we're going to use Ash's LB, which is a bigger buff than Nicole's. It's also an AoE killer buff. Let's see, we're going to use Tituses to just chain this turn. We're not going to use the cooldown chain yet, though. We're going to go to the base form. We're already in the base form. Okay, we're going to go ahead and entrust one of the Tituses with Galoof so we can get ready for next turn. We're going to use Nicole to Flood, which is a bigger imperil, imbue the party with water, and then do a 100% ramping amplify on the friend. As you see, the friend is getting all the good single target buffs, so mine is going to show really low on the damage per turn at the end of the fight. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and do our chaining real quick. Now this turn the boss does AoE Dispelga. So to deal with that, we're going to Nethicite it with Hawkeye. Make sure you do that as the last action of the turn. That way we don't get dispelled. Okay, some more AoE Earth attacks and all, and Dispel, which has got Nethicited, so that's fine. Okay, so Ash's killer is only a 2-turn killer, so we gotta do it every other turn on the friend. But it's a 250 killer, so, you know, it's worth it. We're going to use Nicole's shifted LB again to refresh the Amplify, because it's going to, his shift is a trance. Anyway, we're now going to use Galoof to entrust the other Titus to get ready for LB again. And Tituses are going to chain, cooldown chain, and use their LB boost for the base form. So chain, cooldown chain, and LB boost. Wait for this to finish. Go ahead and chain this up. Now, after a test run, I knew the friend is going to be terrible on mana, so we're going to use Hawkeye to give the friend a Fairy Walnut to help his mana regen, because he has a lot less regen than mine does. Okay, so there's the single target Berserk on Galoof. It bypasses cover. Now, I intentionally wanted Galoof to die, because by him dying and re-raising, the Berserk doesn't actually Berserk. We don't have to waste any actions dealing with the Berserk by removing it, nothing. So that's why I love Galoof for this, because he can just die every Berserk and re-raise, and Ash's LB does AoE re-raise, which is real nice. Let's go to the base form with Ash and reapply the buffs, because for one thing they're wearing off, but also because Galoof died. Let's see, it is turn 5, got a little turn chart over here. Okay, this turn we're going to LB both of the Tituses, and we're going to use Hawkeye to use his now modifier boosted upgraded cooldown for capping, which is something like a 3,000 mod or something, I forget. It's still not great because he's a dual wield unit, blah blah blah, but it is a little bit of bonus damage. So, and it's a little tricky to cap too. So we're gonna go ahead and use the LB. And I think as soon as Titus does that, we want to cap Hawkeye. I think I did it properly. Maybe, I don't know, potentially. Anyway, we're gonna use Nicole on this turn to, really, we don't need anything. I guess we can just like flood, whoops, flood and re-imbue and flood because whatever. Anyway, and Galoof will entrust over to Titus. So the boss is a 4-turn repeating rotation. He's back to turn 1 of his rotation for the moment, which is, you know, basically just some earth damage and nothing else. Okay, his rotation does change below 50%, but we're not there yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and back to the shift form with Ash, where we're going to reapply that 250 killer on the friend, and big sad face that mine is not getting that, but oh well. Let's go ahead and refresh the Leviathan field so it's up for the rest of the fight. It is a 10-turn field, which is convenient. Let's see, let's go ahead and entrust the other friend, the other Titus, I mean, so that they can do their thing. Now, this is a risky thing. I could, like, weave in the LB, the base form LB of Hawkeye, but it breaks more often than not. I'm not going to bother. Not to mention Hawkeye's base form is not really geared for damage anyway, so it'd be like a 0.1% damage gain if I did do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and deal some damage. Now, I think next turn is the last turn of our 89% break, so damage is certainly going to go down quite a bit very soon, but we're not there yet. Okay, so Ash is going to do her shifted LB, which is an AoE re-raise, stat buff, LB buff, etc. It also gets a smaller killer for my Titus. We're going to do this. Let's go ahead and have Nicole reapply the Imperil and double, whoops, reapply the Imperil and just imbue the party. What else are we doing? Oh yeah, okay, Tituses are going to put up their magnets for the big amp because Nicole's is going to wear off before the end of this. We're going to, let's see, use the cooldown chain and LB mod for this. So amp, cooldown chain, LB mod. Hawkeye to the base form, because it is turn 3 of the boss's rotation. We have to Nethicite this turn. So let's go ahead and do this first. Now the boss stops Nethiciting between 50 to 10, but we're not below 50, so we got to Nethicite this turn, which is fine, you know, whatever. So here's the AoE Dispel. We Nethicite it, no problem. Okay, on this turn, we are going to LB our Tituses. Yep, and we do, first of all, we refresh the big killer on friend Titus. Let's go ahead and do the LBs real quick. Below 50, okay. Hawkeye is now going to dual cast some healing from the Lakshmi Tome because we need to kind of top off the Tituses. We're wearing regeneration on the rest of the party, but Tituses are not. But, you know, now they're good. Hawkeye, I'm not Hawkeye, what's his name? Nicole can go ahead and just LB fill, and Galoof can entrust over to one of the Tituses. And we're going to LB again next turn. There's the Berserk. We re-raise. Perfect, not a problem. Alright, back to the base form with Ash, where we are going to buff everything. And bigger break on the boss. Let's see, it is turn 9. Turn 9 is a capping turn. So we're going to entrust over to Titus. Not much for Nicole to do, so he'll just like flood and re-imbue. Yeah, Nicole really doesn't have a whole lot to do in the base form. Okay, let's go ahead and use Hawkeye to cap this again, and we LB the 2 Tituses. Wait for Nicole to finish. Hopefully I proper cap Hawkeye. Might have gone too quick with Hawkeye. Ah! No, I think it was okay. I think it's actually better than usual. Okay, great. Anyway, some attacks. I think this is the fixed damage turn. Maybe not. Okay, it's not. Whatever. To the shift form with Ash, where we are going to killer buff on the friend. Now Nicole can finally shift again. So let's go ahead and shift and get that good amplify going for the party. Let's see, what else are we doing? We're doing limit, chaining on Tituses. Titus are going to chain, cooldown chain, and mod boost. Chain, cooldown chain, and mod boost. To the base form with you, where you do your LB. Wait for this to finish. Alright. Galoof will entrust to one of the Tituses. Turn 10. This is a nothing turn from the boss. Just some AoE earth damage, who cares? Okay. And the fixed damage, of course. Turn 11. We are going to, let's see here. LB again, the Tituses. So we entrust. We limit Ash. Alright, let me see for a second. Hold on. Nothing on you. Nothing on you. Nothing on you. Okay, yeah, so we use the LB on these guys. Got my little turn chart good to go here. Okay. Let's see. We're going to flood Nicole. Flood. Imbue. And use a cooldown to fill LB gauge. Alright. I'm not entirely sure if Nicole will fill properly this turn, so we're going to go ahead and use Lion Emblem to make sure Nicole fills up. There we go, we got it. Perfect. Okay, because we actually need to heal soon. Alright, so turn, what are we on? Turn 12? Yes, turn 12 is a killer turn. It's a chaining turn as well. Nicole's going to LB yet again, so his LB buff is there for the rest of the fight now. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's see. I'm a little concerned about Ash. Alright, we don't actually need healing because we're above, yeah, we're above 20k. Yeah, you're gonna die, but that's okay. We don't care if you guys die. It's turn 12. Yeah, okay. Okay, not bad. We entrust to one of the Tituses and Hawkeye. We don't really need healing, so we're gonna go ahead and LB fill with Lion Emblem because we gotta kind of fill Ash. Ugh. I think she's gonna be okay, honestly. All right, there's Galoof, and Galoof is fine. Turn 30, because we're going into phase 2 soon or 3 soon, which is gonna be a lot of damage, and that's why I'm kind of sweating it right now. We're gonna cover, and we're going to. I wish she had bubble in the base form, but she doesn't. Let's see. This is a burst turn. Alright, so this turn, Nicole is going to flood. Big amplify the friend yet again. It came off cooldown, and we're going to re-imbue. Alright. Galoof. Alright, we don't actually need to entrust right now, so we're going to do this, and you will shift and break. Okay, so do this. Wait. I don't think I did too quick again. Or not. Alright, and we can entrust over to Titus. Okay. This actually went decently, I think. We didn't win yet. We didn't win yet. But I think we're gonna be okay for the win. We've got a big 100% amplified burst coming in a moment. All right, so we need to chain, big chain, mod boost, chain, big chain, mod boost to the base form with Hawkeye. We entrust over to Titus. We are going to big killer. Friend. Nicole's got a Nethicite to the base form with you. We did it already. Okay, so go ahead and get you guys ready. Okay, we're in phase 2 of 3. And then we're going to just go ahead and heal twice with Hawkeye, and we're going to Nethicite with you. Alright, let me think. So we're gonna lose Galoof, but we don't need Galoof anymore. We're done. Okay. And we're gonna re-raise Hawkeye and Nicole. Yep. Perfect. Perfect. And final turn. But because Nicole re-raised, we don't get the Amplify. I gotta give him Guts. I gotta give him Guts. I gotta give him Guts. Damn it. That's an easy fix, though. Or we might kill him this turn. I don't know. Probably not, though. Oh, we got it anyway. Okay, we got it anyway. I should have given Nicole Guts. Yeah, Nicole's got to have Guts so that 100% amp goes through. But it was fine. Yeah, I should just swap his helmet to, like, Fina's STMR or something. Totally fine. Totally fine. Easily doable. Or give him, like, Queen's STMR. Not a problem. Okay. So there was the 15-turn clear. No items. Perfect. A little tight at the end, and I should have definitely done more with a bigger Amplify, but we got it. Okay, so the party is base form Ash is wearing 400% Earth Resist. Other than that, some LB fill with the paintbrush. Yeah, just a bunch of LB fill and the paintbrush. As much LB fill as we can with 400 because she basically takes no damage. And then shift form is again 400% Earth Resist so that we can cover no problem. Other than that, again the paintbrush for LB fill, Call of the Wild, stuff like that. LB fill, and there it is. She has lots of LB fill, and she does 250 Fairy Killer. Her shifted LB does AoE 150 Fairy Killer for the friend, or for mine, I should say. LB damage buff, stat buff, etc. So yeah, she was basically very important for me to do this trial in 15 turns with Janky Titus. Galoof, awesome for this fight, really awesome. The 3-star Galoof. Passive Provoke with double ZZat Journal. Some LB fill, some mana refill. You don't have to give him a card. Passive Provoke, Death Immunity, Charm Immunity, Petrify Immunity, 10,000 or more HP. That's actually technically not required because the way I did this fight, but I was going to do it differently, but I kind of changed up the way I did the last 3 turns. So you don't really need 10,000 HP, but he does need regeneration. So we got regeneration from Lotus Mage Fina's STMR. And yeah, he entrusts almost every turn. And then his journals help Ash and Nicole and Hawkeye all keep their LBs topped up as well passively while he entrusts the... Yeah, he's really good for LB fill. And also because he's very squishy, he always dies to the Berserk instead of being Berserk for 3 turns and making you waste actions curing it. Great option for this. Hawkeye in the base form, a source of Nethicite, some LB fill, a healing spell, double cast, etc. Just for support stuff in the base form. He also does his base form LB for the mod boost. Shift form is the Breaker, 88 Breaker, and that's basically it. He also caps every now and then with a double sword build, but his damage is garbage. But we were like really close at the end there, and he helps me get there. We're going to see his damage breakdown in a moment, but he does have 275, 275 Fairy Killer, so it helped a little bit. Nicole in the base form is just, geared for support. Needed Guts. He needed Guts for that last, or 20,000 HP. 20,000 HP survives as well for that last burst, but Guts would have been easier. Some Esper Fill for Leviathan on turn 1. Nethicite for a support way. Shift form, mana reduction, because we do need to get his LB or his 100 amp. And oh yeah, in his base form, he needs, I think, 1,300 or more MP or mana reduction so that you can do his amp on turn 13. Other than that, yep, there it is. And then shift form, Esper Fill, etc. And then my Titus is EX2, so 9,100 attack power. I don't have orange STMR, so really major problems here. But he is maxed on LB, maxed on chain up. LB fill per turn gives him, that max Fairy Killer, like I mentioned. And then shift form, some auto buffing. Honestly, that's not really important. We didn't really need auto buffing, but we did at the start in the shift form to do the mod boost on turn 1. And then friend, same way here. Similar build, it is EX3, does have orange jug. maxed LB damage, maxed LB a turn, has height as his own card. Shift form, starts on the shift form, auto buffing with his STMR. So there it is. And again, we gave every single 250 buff to the kit to the friend. The friend also got the 100% amplifies and the 75% amplifies. So the friend got literally everything. So when you see the damage breakdown, it's not that mine's bad. It's that the friend got all the single target buffs because he was higher EX level. So that is why the friend has a massively spiked damage over my own. And then Hawkeye did a billion. I mean, he capped a little bit. We needed him. Yeah, so that was an overall a decent clear, other than me making the mistake of not giving Nicole guts. So he did die in turn 14, and we didn't get the auto-casted 100% amp on the last turn. But we didn't need it, you know. But if I had done it differently, I would have. I'm gonna actually do it right now for a re-clear. So basically, just give him Queen's STMR. Very simple. Or Chocobo Athena's STMR. I don't think I have that on the JP server. I don't. So we're just getting Queen. There we go. Queen. There we go. Now he'll guts, and that'll be the easy fix for that. Now I'm gonna go back later without Galoof, basically, and instead of Galoof, in trusting, we'll just do LBs on Titus less often. Super simple, and that'll be fine. We'll just do a slower clear. But okay, there's the Catastrophe 15 turn clear. See you next time.